Daimbo forumani papurasu, daimbo mukuru webasa pakambani, daimbo forumani, daimbo mukuru webasa zvakapera, daimbo forumani papurasu, daimbo mukuru webasa pakambani, daimbo forumani. Daimbo mukuru webasa zvakapera, wepurazi yese ndiwo mbere, kambani yese ndigwadama, wepurazi yese ndiwo mbere, kambani yese ndigwadama zvakapera, wepurazi yese ndiwo mbere, kambani yese ndigwadama, wepurazi yese ndiwo mbere, kambani yese ndigwadama zvakapera. Ndakatadza kusevenzesa chinzvimbo changu, ndakatadza kusevenzesa ukuru hwangu, ndakatadza kusevenzesa chinzvimbo changu, ndakatadza kusevenzesa ukuru hwangu. Ndakatadza kusevenzesa chinzvimbo changu, ndakatadza kusevenzesa ukuru hwangu, ndakatadza ndaivasevenzesa semhuka, ndichivanyima mari yepei, ndaivasevenzesa semhuka, ndisingavawedzere mari, ndaifunga musevenzirombe hamaiwe, ndaifunga musevenzi nhapwa haina ropa, ndaifunga musevenzirombe hamaiwe, ndaifunga musevenzi nhapwa haina ropa. Ukazadaro kambani inoparara, ukazadaro purazi inoparara, ukazadaro kambani inoparara, ukazadaro purazi inoparara.
Welcome at this hour. By the way, give me likes. Yeah, thank you very much for coming to this program. As the battlefield has set in the streets, ladies and gentlemen. Today we want to discuss the issue which is burning. Maticha ari kuti kuhurumende uyai titaurirane zvikoro zvisati zvavhurwa tigadzirise nyaya dzemasalaries so that teachers can go back to work maschools. Vari kutizve wabereki todzokera here kuchikoro tononyepera kuvhura maschools kuti tiite kunge tiri kuchikoro. Welcome to this program whereby I'm inviting all of you to discuss this issue of schools opening, teachers and the government has been always on the loggerheads, are fighting for a fair wage and also fighting for safe schools. Vari kuda kushandira panzvimbo dzakanaka. So the teachers out there, they are saying what they want to commemorate 16th June. This is vakabatana neinonzi zinasu, the group of students. It is a student union actually for the university students. So in Zinasu and Amalgamated Rural Teachers in Union of Zimbabwe, they have planned to come together to commemorate today, this day of the African child, today the 16th of June. So the African Union has given this year a befitting theme, 30 years after the adoption of the Charter, accelerating the implementation of Agenda 2040 for an Africa fit for children. So Varukuti, while we are commemorating this day, we want to look back into the history of Zimbabwean education from primary to tertiary. That's why they come together, the students, the parents, and the teacher unions to this campaign under the hashtag reclaiming our future. Yes. Welcome, comrades. Let's discuss this. Ndiri kuda kukoka imi vabereki vari kunze uku nemi vana vechikoro. If you are awake and following, please give me your ideas and contributions so that we build our education, because they are also running under hashtag reclaim our future. So hashtag save our education Zimbabwe. We really want to save our education system. So welcome Nelson Madzikatire. Hanzi taizokaroreva. You said taizokarovera managers. Hanzi maizokarovera managers Fridays muchipiwa tumazim $2 twedu pazim. Chokwadi, you had to play that song. Vaudoti vawedzerewo kavasevenzi mari. Ndo ka message katingori nako this day, musi wa 16 June, as Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe, ZINAS, and all other organizations who want to see the education of Zimbabwe being saved. Hanzi hurumende yeZimbabwe inojairira vanhu. Aitaura zvako shamwari, inojairira zvokujairira zviya. Ukaona murume mukuru nemhuri une vana 6 vari kuenda kuchikoro nevakadzi 3 dzimwe nguva vase vachida kuchengetwa vari pamba ende achitambira idzodzo nzungu dziri kutambiriwa. So Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union nezinhazo vati vari kuda nhasi vamboita kamusangano kavo, nhasi nezuro vakaita musangano wavo wavakaita nawo, vakasheya mashoko avakasheya navo. So I would want to share here and there kuti who says what at this moment, what are they doing, what is this all about. You remember the case of Hector Peterson in South Africa, who died vachita maprotest as students. So we are saying, as students, as parents, as teachers, this is our own education. Let's own our education and do something. So this, what I have learned, guys, is that these people, they have been organized to have a physical protest in Harare today, 16 of June. But then, unfortunately, a lockdown yauya ikanzinga, so it's no longer feasible. That's why they are now going to protest virtually. So we are calling upon all of you out there to come together with these two organizations and all other allies of this organization to spread the word, to send the message to the government. Because you know what, most of the time when teachers reach out to the government, like, let's talk especially about salaries while it's still holiday. the government doesn't come out to talk. The negotiations will come after schools are opening. So we want to avoid fake openings of schools whereby teachers go to schools to go and sit in classrooms and not teach our children. We really want a proper teaching. So what is the problem at the moment? So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share with you zvikanzi futi hanzi pension fund yezimbabwe is 18,000 bond, and 18,000 imbori mari munhu ari kutambira 18,000 sepension fund yawakashandira makore hobho kudaro wopuhwa 18,000, which is equivalent to less than and just equivalent to $180. I'm trying to welcome a guest, Arikuya Kunoko, and I'm also sharing this. If anyone wants to join me in this studio and share their views on this case,
Good
ngatibatsiranei
evening, comrade.
Oh, welcome, comrade. Today I am with comrade Moyo, who joined me. Oh, I think his network is giving him. Please greet our viewers and listeners. Greet our viewers and listeners. I think his network, viewers and listeners.
I think the challenge could be my network, but I'm catching up with
Yes.
you.
Yes, go ahead. Greet our viewers and listeners.
Listeners, good evening.
And please introduce
Spokesperson
yourself.
Zimbabwe.
The government of Zimbabwe.
Sorry. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Can I come in, comrade?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. You can go ahead. I can hear you. You can go ahead.
I was introducing myself. I was person of ATU's Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe. I am happy to be with you today, listeners.
Hanzi nababa vaAnesu comrade Moyo, be visible at least. Timkukuona face wenu. They are struggling to hear you, but now we can hear you. Go ahead. They are struggling to hear you, but now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's that I'm under a lit room. Maybe people cannot see me properly.
Yeah, plus nyaya dzemagetsi dzinonge dzichingonetsa but what's important is that we can hear your voice. Please go ahead. We can hear your voice. Please go ahead.
I'm Moyo Tembaguye, Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union spokesperson.
Yes, comrade, why are you here with me? Teacher Mukuronga say Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union. Teacher Mukuronga kuita nhasi musi wa16 June tiudzei ndiudzai vadiwa vatiri vateereri vedu vazive kuti zvii zviri kuda kuitika.
16 June is African Child Day. June is African Child Day. As Amalgamated Teachers Union of Zimbabwe, in collaboration with the ZINASU, Zimbabwe National Students Union, we have organized a social, or let me say an online protest. Protesting, striking, saying out grievances, saying out your issues is a crime. So we have decided to take to the social media. Today, teachers, not only ATU's members, but teachers, all teachers in Zimbabwe. We have invited all teachers in Zimbabwe. We have also to give a protest through social media. We'll invade WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can pick any social media where people are saying we want to save our education. You're looking at our education in Zimbabwe, it is in tatters. Teachers are not paid anything. That's what I will say. People talk of salaries in Zimbabwe, there are no salaries. Our salary was stolen as from 2018 October, where we were being paid 520 US. And when the government accepted that the bond, the RTGS, the Zimbabwean dollar, cannot run or cannot trade at par with the US dollar, our salary was stolen then. And today, when we look at the report from the Commercial Council of Zimbabwe, a family of 6 survives on 39,000 RTGS, but a teacher is merely paid 20,000. So we are looking at a difference of 19,000. And we are saying, as Zimbabwe, teachers cannot survive. Teachers are incapacitated. We need to tell the government that teachers are incapacitated, but because it does not allow protest, the government does not allow collectivism, though it is clearly stated in the constitution that a worker in Zimbabwe can belong to a union. Teachers can belong to unions, but those unions are not allowed a voice in Zimbabwe. So in collaboration with the students, ZINASU, we are doing a social protest, an online protest where we want demanding our salary, where we are demanding to save the education of Zimbabwe. If we look at the results, grade 7 results, O-level results, A-level results, 2020 results, poor. People can attribute that to it. Yes, we had lockdowns. Per week, learners were not learning. Some learners who have parents resorted to extra lessons. Lessons cannot help the situation of our learners. Learners anything
Comrade.
salaries, they are struggling. As such, as ATUs, we are saying,
Comrade.
hello, comrade.
Go ahead. I don't know why my voice has some echoes, so I'm trying to work on it. Go ahead.
Hello, comrade. My network is okay. Can I?
Please continue.
As ATU, as ATUs were
Yeah, your
paid
your network
teachers.
is playing around.
They should be paid by the, as Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union. Basically, we are looking at rural teachers, meaning we are also looking at the stakeholders. They are parents. Parents in rural areas are not working. They are peasants, farmers. Where will they get the extra dollar to pay for extra lessons when they are struggling to raise monies for levies, monies for fees? So tomorrow, with the students, we want to tell the government that they should pay teachers a living salary. We want to tell the government that it is their duty to pay teachers. If the government does not resolve the issue of remuneration, schools will not open. I said people will attribute some challenges to COVID. Yes, there is a big challenge in COVID. When we look at COVID and the schools, the government will everything is in place, but there is nothing that the government has done to prevent or to protect the learners and the teachers against COVID. As of now, there is a lot of talk that in Zimbabwe people are being vaccinated. In May, the government tried line workers, teachers included. In Lubang, where I am stationed, on the 24th or in the week from the 3rd to the 24th, there was mobile vaccination. Those who got the first jab, they are struggling to get the second jab. The government has run dry in terms of vaccination. So if they have not
I just lost my comrade here, but I'm sure you'll be back. I can could see your comments here, like why is the teachers not putting tools down? I'm sure when comrade comes back, he's going to answer that. That's what I think that's what we are advocating for under the theme asserting the right to accessible and affordable education, and there we are reclaiming our future. So this is in line with this message and the theme that is this week. The two institutions, that is Artus and Zinasu, will take a series of actions to remind the government of Zimbabwe of its obligations. So today, I also managed to talk to another person from Artus. Let's hear from for what she said.
This were shamelessly declared a 9.8 billion budgetary surplus for the first quarter of 2021. In the midst of extreme poverty and total collapse of social services. Those are absurdities of neoliberalism. We also celebrate this day in the midst of an economic meltdown and unemployment. And there is over 90% unemployment in the country, and the youths are the majority of those affected. And this is a recipe for social and political instability. The government continues with an anti-people policy and has affected mass demolitions of urban structures that have saved in housing the poor and those, and also those of being centers of commerce. This is very regrettable, as the poor are the ones mainly affected by government's negligible attitudes towards addressing housing backlog and public infrastructure.
So we can hear from what she is saying that there are many issues which needs to be addressed by this government, and you know what these people are coming from is it's not coming, it's something which is just coming from their heads to say we have to fight for this, but it is actually there's sustainable development goals, which we speak of the progressive realization of the rights to education. Everybody has the right to education. So the Convention on the Rights of the Child is very clear on the right to affordable and accessible education. Everybody has that right, and it is very clear on that convention. We have a supreme law of the land, whose section 75 says, is unambiguous in casting the right to education in place, so that the government of Zimbabwe itself has had a ambitious agenda for 2020 that promised free education by 2020. Kungoyeuchidzana kuti izvi zvinhu zvakagara zvakanyorwa kuti this agenda has always been there. Then 2020, we are past 2020, and we don't have that that agenda has never made nothing about it has made. So this is where these organizations are, kuti amawe chiuyai tibatane vana vechikoro, maticha tese, even vari the tertiary education. And I really wish ivo vana vacho vechikoro vatinoticha, those form 4s and up to form 6, they should stand for themselves, because I really wish this is the time guys should stand for themselves and fight for their rights. If we let teachers go to school and just sit-ins, and then at the end of the day we go back to them in the evening and give them some money aside, yet it is their duty to teach during the day in classes, this is not right. Okay, we are having this problem in high schools, in primary schools, but I tell you, we have a bigger problem even in the universities. Those lecturers are actually doing nothing, and remember, they are the examiners themselves. I'm not attacking lecturers here, but you have to do what you have to do for things to go, because vana vedu vari kupedzisira vasisiri kudzidza zvachose. And eventually, what are we having in the industry? We are having those okay. So you can mute yourself, leader, while I'm speaking. So, Babane Sundova Mati Mim, how effective will be the online protest, considering that I'm sure Leader Moyo, you are hearing this and you can see that question. I need you to answer it. How effective will be the online protest, considering that service or internet is for the few? How will this message reach to those marginalized? Okay, the people are saying, Comrade Moyo, yes, your physical protest has been, your
I'm with you.
You can mute yourself.
Can I come in?
Yes, come in. While your physical has been distorted. So, and this online protest, how does it help the marginalized?
Our message practically is to the would-be leaders. Yes, considering the poor reception of every media in Zimbabwe, the marginalized will always be left behind. We have to accept that. But looking at the scenario we are in Zimbabwe, physical protest is a crime. We are also looking at the issues of COVID. 2 days back, the Minister of Health has announced restrictive measures, but those measures cannot stop us. We are saying the marginalized know the challenges that we have. Their children are not learning. The marginalized know the challenges that we have. Their children are made to pay an extra cent, an extra dollar. But we have taken it upon ourselves as teachers, as tertiary students, to knock at the doors of our employer, to knock at the door of the president, to knock at the door of the minister of finance, to knock at the door of the minister of social welfare. These are our targeted persons. Looking at the marginalized, they are part of us. In some areas where the reception is available, they will definitely get our tweets. They will definitely get our messages in WhatsApp. They will definitely get our messages on Facebook, and they will share those messages as they meet, as they mingle. But now our targeted area, the elite, the ruling class, those are the people we want them to get our message. We have not sidelined the marginalized, because the marginalized are suffering. We are suffering with the marginalized. Now we want to be the voice of the marginalized, and the marginalized are our stakeholders.
Thank you, comrade. With that answer, you can please always mute yourself. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm actually coming from
I should be
your side.
biggest
I'm
chat.
actually coming from your side.
Just mute when I'm speaking so that
Just
we can
mute
hear
when I'm
you.
speaking so that we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, comrade.
Okay, thank you very much, comrade.
I need you to mute yourself, leader, so that I can be able to speak.
I need you to mute yourself, leader, so that I can speak.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
So from this,
it's said that more than 40 years after our own supposed independence and our own supposed freedom and liberation, we are still.
this is the Secretary General of ZINASU who is giving his message for today, so that people can come together with them and we work together. Let's listen to him.
Crying for education. It is said that from 1980 we have been sold a fallacy, we have been sold a problem instead of a solution. And as far as our education is concerned, we should not be having this conversation 41 years after independence that teachers simply deserve a living wage. We should not be speaking of slave wages in an era of independence. We should not be speaking of the inaccessibility of education facilities 41 years after independence. But comrades, this is where we are today. This is where we've been brought by those who claim to be our liberators, by those who claim to have fought for us, by those who claim to have brought so much good on our lives and on our country. Comrades, especially in the context of COVID-19, we have seen an increase in the number of young people who have been dropping out of school from primary, secondary, higher and tertiary education levels, where students have dropped out of school thanks to the exorbitant and unjustified fees hike that have been happening at all levels of education. But comrades, we should not forget that under COVID-19, young people and students in particular have not been able to attend school thanks to the declared lockdowns most of which have now tended to be very political. But nevertheless, we have seen students paying full fees. We've seen students having subjected to what our comrade Gender Secretary Nancy Jenga usually calls night hikes, where fees are just hiked during the night. You just wake up tomorrow morning and you see your fees portal, and you see your fees on the portal is doubled, or at times been increased by 4 times. We have equally seen a Zimbabwe, which is different from the one we were promised in the 1990s. It's
So, guys, we have heard the Secretary General of Zinasu. He is complaining about nyaya yemafizi wekuti unongofuma fizi dzakakwira, and tinoziva kuti vazhinji vana vedu ava vari kumauniversities vamwe vavo mafizi chaivo vanotoita ekuzvitsvagira, wongofuma fizi yakakwira. It's so disheartening and discouraging kumunhu ari kuisawo effort kuti azvibatsira aende kuchikoro. So that's why vana vaita come together vati let's fight this thing. And then woenda kuchikoro kuna lecturer asiri kuticha, wosvikazve kuhigh school nekamunin'ina kari kuenda kuchikoro kuna teacher asiri kuticha. This is so disheartening. I heard you Ndompaishe ukati if they do stand for themselves they will be sent to Chikurubi, but kusiri kufa ndokupi nai Ndompaishe. Vana ava vatourawa because isusu hapana zvavari kudzidza. Then what if they don't come out and say it out? If they don't come out and send a message to the government, it's going to be hazvitibatsiri. So tiri kungoti vana vabereki kwamuri ikoko ngatisakurudzirai zvinhu zvisingatibatsiri, because as parents ndimi muri kutsvaga mari dzokuti vana vaende kuchikoro ava. At the end of the day mwana wodzokazve achida an extra lesson yokuti akwanise kupasa exams. iri kungouya rega ndikutumire Ndompaishe, rega ndikutumire link muuye. Thank you very much for coming. Rega ndikutumire ndiise link apa so that you join me. I'm sending you the link here. Yes, that's the link. Just click and come here. Just click and come and join me so that tikurukure nyaya idzi mutionese kuti zvoitwa sei. Comrade Moyo, takamirira Ndompaishe ari kuuya. Ndoda kuti muudze kuti muri kuda kuti this protest, it was say, what do you want people out there to do and send online, be it on their Facebook, and tag what are they supposed to do? Give them the clue kuti kana uchida uchijoina pa protest ita so, then you post where vanhu vazive kuti muri kuda kuti zviitwe sei, so that whoever, be it a parent, be it students, any allies, anybody out there who wants to help, because this is what you are here for, to tell people to join you on this protest. You want to reach what number? I've heard teachers saying we have 5 million learners. So we want 5 million voices to represent 5 million learners. Kungoti vana vedu tinoda dzidzo yavo. Your voice will add to 5 million. Go ahead, Comrade Moyo. You can mute yourself.
For people to participate, they may write a placard. A placard is what they need. They also need their phones or whatever gadget they use. The message in the placard is pay teachers the $500 Hashtag save our education. Hashtag the African child lives matter. You post that on your Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, Skype, YouTube. You can also send your pictures to this number 077 473135. The number again 077473135. You can visit our Facebook page. Let me give you the pages that you can also visit. You can visit our Facebook page, that's Rural Teachers Union in Zimbabwe, and post there. You can post at Atu's Teachers, that's Peter, at Atu's Teachers. You can also post there. We are saying 5 million voices for 5 million learners. That's our target. But teachers cannot go up to 1 million. The students at tertiary institutions cannot go up to 1 million. If we have all students, we have all teachers, and we have all these other students at secondary education, and the parents. The parents are the core, because these are the people who work hard. These are the people who sell their labor for peanuts. So they must participate. It is unfortunate that teachers are left alone. It is unfortunate that parents have accepted. I've always said it is because of this obedience that has taken us to this level where we are. Today, let's rekindle disobedience in us against our government and be able to tell the government in the face to say, government, pay the teachers well. Government, pay all civil servants well. Government, manage the economy well. When you look at students, like the secretary has said, you wake up in the morning, the fees was $2. You are told the fees is $250. You wake up the following day, fees from $250, fees to $20,000. It is very bad when you go to the universities, when you go to the colleges. Our children cannot afford to raise the fees they are supposed to pay. So join us in this protest. Hashtag save our education. Hashtag the African child lives matter. Pay teachers the $520 that they were paid in 2018. They will be capacitated to go and teach.
Very
I
loud
think
and
also
clear. You
the
can continue.
lecturers, if they are paid properly, they will do their work diligently. Thank you.
Thank you, leader. Thank you. Let's also hear kutsimira kwaita secretary general veamalgamated rural teachers union of Zimbabwe, comrade Robson Chere, in the yesterday vachitaura nezvedei ranhasi. Ndompaishe, okay, let me send for you again. Let me resend the link again. It's okay. While we hear from the Secretary General of Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union, whom I talked to in the afternoon. I will resend to you, Ndompaishi.
All right. My coming in is centered on the way forward. After the previous speakers spoke eloquently about issues that are happening in the education sector. So now going forward, we are saying we are not going to allow a situation whereby our education will be destroyed and will fold our hands. So it is the youth, everyone's youth and the progressive citizens to join hands and save our education, which is on the verge of collapse. So on the 16th of June this year, ZINASU and ATUS going to collaborate and stage a protest. We know that gatherings have been banned, but we've got different ways of expressing our demands. So on the 16th of June, we are going to stage online protests under the hashtag Save Our Education ZW. So we are saying on all these issues that have been said by the previous speakers, one can participate in the online education, demanding the government to restore the salaries, the USD salaries, pre-October 2018 USD salaries for teachers, so that they will not be paid slave wages. We also need to demand the government to stop the victimization of our teachers in different communities. We know that in different communities, teachers are now being victimized politically, and we are saying we will not allow political vouchers to be in our school environments. So this is one of the demands that we also be demanding. We want a free learning environment away from the political vouchers. We are also demanding the government to provide safety measures so that they can comply with the standard operating procedures in our schools. The last survey that we had, the compliance by the government in schools were 0.5%, that is in March. So we are saying for schools to function well, there must be compliance with standard operating procedures. That is the safety measures that should be in place. So we are demanding the government to put in place safety measures for COVID-19. And we are also saying, without the capacitation of teachers, schools should not be opening. This is an informed decision that has been taken after we have been engaging parents through a referendum and ordinary progressive citizens voting in that referendum. And the results that came out from the different provinces, 98% of the population, the total population, said schools should not open when teachers are capacitated, because there should not be a display of as if learning is taking place when there is no learning that is taking place because teachers are incapacitated. So government should actually capacitate teachers first, then opening of schools. So there's no opening that will take place if teachers are not capacitated. It's one of the demands that is going to be also carried out during the staging of the protest tomorrow. We are also demanding the government to provide more budget support towards our education. Actually, the budget support should be in line with the 22% of the Dakar Declaration of Total Budget. And we are also demanding the government to pay for state-funded basic education that is in line with our Constitution of Zimbabwe. Right now, coming into how one can protest, you can take part in the protest. One can take part in the protest anywhere, from anywhere where you are. You can just post, you can take a placard, write one of the demands or all of the demands. Then you can take a pic of yourself holding that placard. You can post on social media. Then we can take, or you can write, you can shoot a video. Putting across have been actually highlighted. Then you can see that the message will reach to the targeted receiver. I want to thank you, Ahoy, my comrades Ahoy.
This is powerful from the Secretary General of Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe. So this is clear, Comrade. Babanesu is still saying, don't buy when nebasa, I accept. But honestly, you can't tell me of YouTube, Facebook, etc. I'm in UMP, and now I'm on top of Amarula Tree, Mumuyu, to have network reception, all because I have somehow a gadget which allows for that. Ko varipado tito. still his question, Comrade Moyo, is keeping on coming kuti muri kuti chiini, because vari kutiwo even vari padotitoka vanofanira kutongoitawo that protest, because bata from the point of view iri kutaura nevanhu kuti that protest must be done by everyone. Yes, because we have other people vari mumaruzevha vari mumaruwa, so we should tikuti kwamuri imimi zinasi neartus find a way yekuti vanhu vese vapinde on board, because those people vari kumusha, yes, the message goes to the targeted people, but vari kuti tikuda kuti munhu wese azviendesere message ike zvino, because we are saying nothing for us without us. So we want involvement of those people in rural areas to be part of this protest, to be part of any protest whatsoever you plan to do, because vari koko pamwe vari kutofunga kuti zvinhu zvakanaka zvitori bo. Saka toita sei ndo pane mubvunzo kuti vari kumaruwa voita sei, because they also want to be part of the protest. Yes, the message zvamataura can reach them through this and that, but mostly they don't get that message. If you happen to have the strategy, maybe you can share with us, then toona kuti tobatsirana sei sevanhu pano, because chatoda kuti zviitike ndezvokuti shoko ngarisvike ikoko kwese kwarofanira kusvika kuvakuru ende richibva kuvaridzi varo, ndo pane point yevanhu. Comrade Moyo, come in with the answer to that one.
Thank you, Comrade. The question will always bounce back, come again, and our answer to it is we are the people. The people are us. Currently, before the vice president is announcement of the restrictive measures, we had a program where we wanted to move around Zimbabwe during the school holidays to involve all the stakeholders. We had started it in Harare at Mbuya Neanda statue. We had penciled the 18th for Bulawayo. From Bulawayo, we had wanted to go
okay,
to
thank you so
Midlands.
much. I think thanks to the comrade who raised the question.
We had wanted to go to Manicaland. So we have a strategy where we want to get to the people. But because of these restrictive measures, we have said, let's not be seen defying. Because currently ATOS is regarded as a terrorist organization by the government. But we are constitutionally abiding citizens. We are respecting the constitution of Zimbabwe, and we respect the laws of the government. Now, because of the restrictive measures, we have said the other media that we can use, yes, this media deprives some people. But currently, when we look at the rate of these gadgets, there is a challenge of reception. We accept that, and we have noted that. It is a thing that we will work on after today's program. From today, we're going to regroup as ATUS, we're going to regroup with as ZINASU and say, we have done our online program. What next? But since we have people here, can they also help us? Because it is not all from us. We are saying for us, by us. Without us, there is nothing for us. We have people here. The one who's asking the question, they may be seeing a gap in our strategy. Can they chip in and say, can you also employ this tactic? Because it is a struggle. A struggle involves everyone. A struggle has no single strategy. But what we can promise people is after today, we'll go and regroup, put forward the concerns that we are having. Currently, we are having this live show, people coming in with whatever they will tell us. We're going back and report and say, this is what the people say. This is what the people want done. Can they also come in and tell us how they want us to do it, how they want it done, so that everyone gets involved? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and this is so powerful. This moment, giving Dom Paishe. Welcome, Dom Paishe, to this program. We are with me, Simobi, hosting this battlefield for revolutionaries being taken in the street by the people, for the people, by the learners and their teachers from primary to university level. Welcome, Dom Paishe.
Hello, hi Simobi. Can you hear
How
me?
are you? I can hear you loud and
Thank
clear.
you
Go
so
ahead.
much. My point is really
Maybe you
to
can just
Zimbabweans.
raise a bit of your voice, just a
Okay,
little bit.
sorry. My question is really to Zimbabweans, not to the panel. For how long are we going to suffer? Let our children, grandchildren, great-grand suffer. Yes, the government, for them who are in power now, they went to school. It's not that they were just dropped and then get into power. They went to school to get wherever they are meant to be. If they don't respect the teachers or value teachers, but the position they have today is because they were taught by teachers. Why don't they sit down and realize, hang on a minute, for me to be here where I am is because of a teacher. And this, what we are paying teachers, is it reasonable compared to the situation in Zimbabwe? Whatever the money they are paying is peanuts. They can't buy anything. Even transport up and down to go to school, only maybe 2 or 3 days, that's it. The whole month they can't go to school, where they're meant to teach the children. So what are we putting our children into? Are we building a future for Zimbabwe, or are we just destroying Zimbabwe? I know there's so many who are going to say, oh no, the government is doing this and this and that. But listen, how much is the teacher earning today? Can you help me answer that?
20,000 bond,
RTGS.
not? Yes,
That's
yes,
RTGS. Okay,
yes.
20,000 RTGS, what does it worth? What can you do with 20,000 RTGS?
Yeah, nothing much.
Even if you go to Mbare Msika, to the market, you don't buy much, do you? And anyway, when you pay that 20,000 RTGS, if you want to take your cash, the bank charges you a little bit, isn't it? You don't get your 20,000 straight.
Of course.
And you still need to pay rent. You still need transport. And you've got your
In
family as well to
US
look
dollars,
after.
actually.
Yeah. You still got your family to look after. Your children, when they go to school, they're not even being said, oh, there's a staff price because your parent is a teacher. There's nothing like that, is it?
Yeah.
So why is the government so... I don't understand. I really, really don't understand. And you hear somebody saying, oh, we're doing great. Or it's new dispensation, which maybe, what does new dispensation means? What's the agenda of new dispensation? Is it for one person's pocket, or is for the whole Zimbabwe? Thank you.
Oh, this is so powerful, my sister. I am so touched with your contribution. You know, it's Comrade Moyo, it's so disheartening to learn that people really out there realize that these things are so hard on us as teachers, and it's just unbearable. It's very unfortunate that we will find other people saying that teachers are crying babies, they always complain, what. But Ndomu, your points are very valid, and I respect your contribution. I have totally nothing to add on what you have said, because it is enough. We really need these people to come and answer these questions which you are asking. And the people of Zimbabwe, that's why we are saying we have to come together and fight this battle together. It's not only for teachers, because yes, these people, for them to be wherever they are, having those posts they carry, most of them, they even went to University of Zimbabwe. But right now, if you go to University of Zimbabwe and find the students coming out of University of Zimbabwe, you will realize that they know nothing. There is a lot of chaos at that institution. Not only that institution, everywhere, because nobody is paying enough to be able to deliver their work. Yes, of course, people pretend. This is what we know. People pretend to deliver their work. Yes, because I don't know why they choose to pretend. This is what we are fighting. That no more pretending. We really want real learning in classes. We really want teachers to go and teach, not to play around. So this is all about this protest, and I'm very sure our Comrade Moyo is gone. I'm very sure that these you people can come together and help these organizations. We have managed to open their eyes so that they fight this anomaly in the education system. Before I come back to you, I would want people to hear what the president of Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe said in the afternoon, so that you can comment on it, Anesu.
To all the comrades we have already presented. What is more important for us at the moment is that we have a program of action which is guided by our clear revolutionary theory, which we have already defined for ourselves. Now, on the issue of numbers, the people on the ground, the teachers are angry, they are ready, they're just waiting for leadership. The students themselves, they are angry. There's no learning taking place in our schools. And if we don't step in to provide leadership, our education sector is simply going to collapse. So it is not about the people who have signed up to be members of ATUS, but it is now about a broad movement, a movement which we are calling the Save Our Education movement, where we are targeting over 5 million voices of people who are standing for education. And we are confident that the numbers are there from the parents' side, the numbers are there from the learner's side, the numbers are there from the teacher's side. And collectively, we are going to rise, stand up, and say enough is enough, no more fake schools opening. And 28 June schools are not going to be opening and happen in reality, which we are all going to be seeing manifesting in front of us. And government is warned that they should urgently address teacher incapacitation crisis, safety in before the 20th June.
Safety in schools, because that's another thing which we need to take into consideration. Safety in schools. Before I come to you, let's Babane Sans, thank you so much. Heart to those in rural areas and far from rich. I'm told learners in urban areas are busy with lessons, and yet all the let me correct you here, busy with extra lessons, where their parents are paying. After they pay the fees in schools and they don't learn in schools, they come back home and then do those extra lessons. And yet all in rural areas, holiday schools are banned by DSIs. Long live our education, but together we can. This is so powerful, Babane. So, Nompaishe, let me give you this opportunity to comment on what the president of Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union have said. Yes, Nompaishe? Okay, maybe her network has played some tricks. Shkanzi futhi Because most of the Zimbabwean leaders do not care about education in Zimbabwe because theirs do not learn in public schools. Check out. Oh, Baba Anesu, this is truth, because this is what we are facing. Our leaders, their children, they go to elite schools whereby they learn, and our children, those who are in public schools, are the ones suffering because most of them are overseas, and who cares? A lot of experiments are being done so that those doing their studies may excel. Learners and teachers are used as apparatus. So sad scenario. Whew. Yeah, and I would love to comment on that, Baba Anesu. Whereby you say this, it's kind of a case study. How can somebody play around with somebody's life and make it a case study to see whether it works, whether those who learn by themselves succeed, those who receive extra lessons succeed, and what about those who do they succeed? To make it a case study, a research, a case study, life of other people, making it a case study. This is unacceptable. That's why we are fighting this, and we will never accept such scenario. How can you make somebody's life a case study? Huh? That's no. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. I'm here now. Sorry. I
Okay.
log on with so many gadgets.
Oh,
to
okay.
Mr. President, thank you so much for your contribution. But I'm not talking directly to Mr. President. Yes, I understand Mr. President has got valid points. I'm now looking at the core Zimbabweans.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Zimbabweans people don't stand up and say, hey, Mr. President is not going to be heard, it's the whole Zimbabweans. Are our children happy in school? No. Are they being taught properly in school? No. Are the teachers being paid appropriately? No. What else should we do? Can we join hands together and fight this? Because whatever we might look at an angle saying, oh, this A, B, C, D, but the real truth is the teachers are not being paid well, so they can't teach properly. Maybe they do 2 lessons a week. Them 2 lessons a week, are they helping our children? Are we building Zimbabwe? Apart from looking at our children, let's look at Zimbabwe as a whole. Are we building Zimbabwe? Tomorrow we might wake up gone, but it's the younger generation. If they're not taught properly, are they going to rule Zimbabwe? Those in power now might think, yes, they are in power, but the power is not forever. Their ages is plus, every year is plus, 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 plus. So if the children are not being taught properly, who's going to rule Zimbabwe? If the teachers are not being, the teachers haven't been paid for a long time. Even the 500, you're saying 500, I don't think it's fair enough for a teacher. Because for anybody else to be where they are is the teacher who taught them to be where they should be. So let's forget about this and that, let's really focus on the teacher. The teacher is the key to our children's success. So if the teacher is not paid whatever they are meant to be paid, the teacher themselves, some of them, they can't even pay fees for their children because of whatever they're being paid for. They can't feed themselves. They can't feed their family. They can't pay fees for their children. Their children are even suffering. Even though they teach them private lessons not from school, how many families are affording to pay that dollar? Okay, we go into some charges $1 a week. How many families are affording that $1 a week? Forget
So
about the
many.
teachers. It's not this is the whole Zimbabwe thing. honestly speaking, I don't know how else I can sort of put it for people to really understand. I know there's some people who are commenting wrongly because whatever they think, maybe they've sent their children abroad. Thank God I do live abroad myself. But Zimbabwe has our children has to have education, regardless of whatever. Thank you.
I hear you, my sister. This is the time for Zimbabweans to come together and fight. It is up to you as a Zimbabwean, wherever you are. Please join this struggle. Let's fight together. Let's bring back the glory to our education system. Let's reclaim what has been sold long time back. Let's have that literacy rate at even 100%. If we can even surpass the 100%, we have the capacity. Wherever we go as Zimbabweans, we are respected because of what we know, what we are capable of. But right now, we are destroying ourselves. This is the time, this is the chance. Join this protest today, 16 June 2021. It has been done. We have Hector Peterson in South Africa. He is now a hero who fought for their rights as children. This is the time to even encourage our children to fight for themselves. It is their future which is being destroyed. This is the time for us to unite as parents, as students, and as teachers to come together with one goal. If we don't fight for what is ours, it is your duty to teach as a teacher, but you cannot teach because you are incapacitated wherever you are. But this is the time for you to send the message to the government, be it through, let's use this protest because there's a lockdown. But if the government do not take heed of our protest, our message to them, our protest, then we have to find other ways to make sure they hear us no matter what, no matter what. So I'm calling upon all of you, wherever you are in the world, as long as you're a Zimbabwean, you have a relative in Zimbabwe, you have a sister's child, you have your own child in the country, and they need to access this education. So if you don't stand and fight, just send a message. Say hashtag save our education Zimbabwe today and hashtag reclaiming our future today on the 60th, and tag Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe, tag Zinasu, so that this message goes. I took this opportunity, I took this time of my evening to have you guys, to invite you guys to join this protest for teachers, for workers. Even we might talk of workers, but our parents are also, sorry, our teachers, but our parents are also workers. Most of them, they are government workers and they're paid peanuts. That's why together with even ZCT, you come together, we fight together. We have a solidarity message from across the world to support this cause, because we know that in Zimbabwe, we need to bring back the sanity in the education system sector. Hashtag save our education Zimbabwe. Hashtag Zinaso lives. We respect our universities and we want our children to learn and be professionals from the university. So this is the time. Nompaishe, I can give you a moment just to say goodbye to our viewers and listeners, and
Okay.
to just say your last words before I close. Sometimes I become emotional when I talk about these things. I'm a teacher myself, and it really pains me that I can hardly take care of my own family. It's hard.
I do understand you and I feel you.
Yeah.
I was in Zimbabwe last Christmas. I came back January. One thing I need to specify in my farewell bye-bye. There are some headmasters who can't voice their concern because they think, or maybe they feel, and yes, we do know, if you voice up, you are in trouble. But the honest truth is, most schools, especially in the rural areas, they are open, but nobody's being taught. It's just to make the government happy that the school is opened, but no one is being taught. I witness it with my own eyes. I look and smile. And the only thing is, people can't, they're afraid of voicing up saying this because they're scared of their lives. But to the ruling government, this, you need to really sit down. For you to be where you are, it's because you went to school, you were taught. Even if you failed, but you are where you were because you were taught. If you don't value teachers, yes, you can pay for your children or your grandchildren to study abroad. What about the rest of Zimbabwe? You can't take the whole Zimbabwe to study abroad. That's not going to work. It will be more cheaper to just make everybody in Zimbabwe happy than crumble everybody just for your own benefit's sake. And there are some who's going to say, oh, we are doing much, we are doing this. Hang on a minute. When you get your salary, it's only one okay. You go in and shop. And whatever the money you are paid, is only 2 or 3 things you can buy. And you still need transport. You still need accommodation. Your children needs to go to school. How else are you going to live your life? How else are you going to live your life? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ndompaishe. I appreciate your coming here and your sharing so exciting information. And Father teacher kuti they are not alone in this battle. Ndobva mati babane, it's very true. Teachers cannot pay fees for their children, let alone buy uniforms, food, and at least a normal life. Things fall apart as we walk towards Vision 2023. MDGs are just but trash in Zimbabwe. Cry, my beloved Zimbabwe. Thanks, team, for the protest. Thank you very much, and thank you for applauding these two teams for taking this protest. Before I leave you, I want to leave the president of Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union his last
Many
remarks.
others are
Oh,
emboldened
this is
by the fact that people are applauding the
the
news and
Secretary
encouraging
General.
us to continue to move as an unstoppable collective force that can fight for an equal, just, and a better Zimbabwe where education is respected and teachers are given the due respect they so deserve. We know, like I said before, education is the bedrock and root from which we can realize our aspirations as a nation. But we also need to confront those lies that there is a 9.8 billion budget surplus, when the only surplus we can see is the surplus of problem, the surplus of crisis in as far as our education sector is concerned. It is a surplus of symptoms of a poverty of thought, a crisis in leadership, and a deficiency in moral empathy on the part of government. But can we continue to agonize when we can equally organize ourselves, like I said before, into a collective force that can fight for a better education system that caters for every citizen of this country, young, old, rich, poor, and even those who have lost hope, they can have that hope again if we can fight together. So I need to iterate the need for us to fight as a collective force. I'm happy that comrades like Comrade Ngamuto, Comrade Mutasa are here so that they can always help us and help each more. We are as strong as our collective force more than the combined forces of our individual strength. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Madida. Thank you so much for your closing remarks. I'm calling upon Comrade Chiri. Okay. So this is what I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me with me, Simo B. I say, please don't forget to join my hashtag Tell Your Story Inspire Someone program, which comes on every Fridays, 8 p.m., whereby we have people who have suffered gender-based violence cases who bring their stories to that program and we share. So please don't forget to send your to call me on that number on the screen. If you have, even if you want to send your messages for protest tomorrow, please send it to that number. I can forward them, we can publish them. Ndo zvatiri kuita pano kuti shoko renyu risvike kwarinofanirwa kusvika. Ko toita sei tine vanofanirwa kusvikirwa neshoko vari mumaruwa, so ndo vatiri kuda kuti mukatumira even ipapo panhamba dzangu apo shoko rinosvika chete. Send even your videos, your audios, whatever message you'd want to send for today as protest 16 June 2021. Hashtag Save Our Education Zimbabwe. Good night.